Hello my friends and welcome back to another Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom video. This one I'm going to be showing you guys where to get all of these Sage's Will locations. So there's going to be all 20 locations. There's 20. Basically what they do is they increase the power of the summons which you get from each temple. There's going to be a little bit of mild spoilers obviously if you know I'm not going to talk about the temples themselves necessarily, but you're going to see what the summons are and things like that to some extent. I'm going to try to keep it minimal as best as I can, but this is something that you're going to obviously want to do once you've actually completed the temples. Unless I guess you could complete some of them like one at a time if you have one summon already unlocked, and you can do that. But before we jump into it, we got to do a little bit of preparation. So I'm going to walk you guys through a couple things that I would highly suggest. So first things first, get a bunch of foods and meals that are going to help you out. I got a bunch of ones that have full recovery plus 20, which you get from cooking 5 big hearty truffles or whatever. Cook whatever you need. Things that have defense would be good. Attack up could be good. Extra stamina could always be good. Having as much stamina, as many stamina rings as you possibly can get, can be very, very good. In terms of gear, I highly suggest having some shields that you can attach things like rockets to, because we're going to be doing multiple King GLEEOKS fights, which is going to be very tough. I highly suggest having some great weaponry. For example, the Lionel bows. If you can upgrade it at an Octorok, if you don't know how to do that, I'll have guides on the channel. You can get actually one that shoots 5 arrows for the price of 1 instead of 3. And again, anything you attach it to, like a bomb arrow or like a bomb flower to the arrow, will also be multiple for the price of 1. So in this case, it's times 3. That's what the Savage Lionel bows are by default. Again, I have a guide on all the best weaponry in the game on my channel if you need to see that. Also highly suggest getting a couple different sets of gear. So for one, we have the Barbarian armor, which if you upgrade it, you'll have a greater defense on it, and also it has an attack up stat as well. So that's really, really good to have, as it'll increase your attack for some of the bosses we're going to be doing. Like I said, it's not all bosses. It's a mixture of some decently, fairly easy bosses like Fluxes, and then also like King GLEEOKS, things like that. I also highly suggest getting the Zonaite armor set, which again I have a guide for on my channel. I'll try to remember to link all that down in the description below if I can. If you upgrade it to level 2, it also comes with a set bonus. So these all have energy up, meaning that it uses less battery when you use ZONAI devices, which we're going to be using a bunch of. So the set bonus is energy recharge up, meaning it recharges faster, which honestly is not a huge deal because you can't recharge it faster when you're in the middle of using the ZONAI device anyway. So it's probably pointless to upgrade it, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's probably pointless, honestly. You probably don't need to do that, but anyways, I highly suggest getting that armor set. It'll help you greatly. And another one that could help is the skydiving armor, as if you have all of that, it can allow you to maneuver in the air a little bit better when you're gliding. So those are just a few things that I highly recommend. And again, like all the best weaponry, I have a guide for that on the channel, that you want some good weapons, especially if you can have the Master Sword and infuse something into the Master Sword to make it even more powerful, then I would highly suggest that as well. And like I said, just some resources, if you can collect some fairies in case you die, that's always a good thing. Just a variety of different things like that. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Oh, hold on, one other thing, also the energy cell. I highly suggest increasing your energy cell to have as much battery as you can. Again, if you don't know how to do that, I have a guide on my channel. I'll really try to remember to link all those in the description below if I remember. So once you get all that done, I think we're pretty much good to go. We're pretty much set to go into this, because again, we're going to be going in the Sky Islands for all of this. And you can see in the Sky Islands, there's a variety of different locations, right? Some of them could be very, very easy to get to. So if you launch out of a Skyview tower, then you can get to, like, let's say this one right here very easily. But then some of them are a lot higher or farther. Like there's one all the way down here that we're gonna actually have to get to at some point, and you're gonna have to glide over there. So what I would highly suggest also is getting auto build, and then building some kind of device like this kind of bike thing that I seen Austin John use, because you know what, it's not bad. I didn't build it as good as his, but essentially you actually want that front fan to be facing kind of backwards a little bit as well, just like that back fan, the one on the right, and then you just stick like a control stick in the middle. Very easy. It's like a little kind of wind motorcycle, and it propels you up and forward at the same time, which is really, really good. So if you can create one of those, we're going to be using that a lot. And then make sure you have enough Zonaite in your inventory, because whenever you build these, it's going to cost Zonaite to build it and whatnot. So yeah, those are a few things. And you can go to various ZONAI dispensers throughout the world to get, you know, proper gear if you need to, like fans, rockets, and different things like that you might find useful. So, all right, I think that's it for prep. Let's go ahead and jump straight into this. There's 20 locations. Some of them are easy. Some of them are a little bit tougher. I'll do my very best to guide you through them. If you enjoy this one, leave it a like, subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, Sage's Will number 1. We're going to be going and starting off in the kind of top right area. This is going to be the Eldin region. You can see right here where it's going to be located. Again, you can go from the Eldin Canyon Skyview Tower, launch out of that, and just go ahead and glide over. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just gliding over. Again, stamina is going to be super useful, as you're probably going to be using like about 2.5-ish stamina rings for this one. Again, you can just fly over with a ZONAI device if you want from a different island. And once you get here, you're going to go into this little kind of structure. You're going to pop open the chest, and this is going to be Sage's Will number 1. Again, this is just going to be the order that I'm going in. Sage's Will number 1. We can move on to number 2. All right, so for Sage's Will number 2, we're going to be going generally in the same area, Eldin Canyon Skyview Tower from this one. We're just going to be going right here in the South Eldin Sky Archipelago. We're going on this little island over here. So again, I'm just going to kind of cruise on over, but we're not going to the top. So when you get over to the island here, we're going to go to the second kind of floor here. Now, it looks like there's actually only 2 floors, but there's 3. So where I just landed is going to be technically the second floor. Right below me is going to be the bottom floor. So if you just make your way to this section here, you can see there's kind of like a little crevice here. We're going to go to the left and chop down these branches, kind of shimmy away or around right over here, grab this chest, and this is going to be Sage's Will number 2. Again, pretty easy stuff, not too difficult to get that one, and we can move on to the next. All right, so for Sage's Will number 3, I realized I didn't show it very good on the map, but it's basically you're going to be launching from the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower. This location is going to be directly, almost directly, somewhat west of Terrytown. So if you look right above Terrytown, again, just kind of south Akala region, you're going to see it here. So it's going to be Sakala Sky Archipelago. If you land on this island here, you can go ahead and build this flying device. We're going to this sphere-like structure over here. Again, you can see where I marked it on the map exactly. We're going to pop in here. There's going to be like a ball thing in the middle. We're going to be able to rotate it. If you hold R, you can rotate it up and down, and that's what we're going to want to do, because we're going to want to rotate the opening until half of it is above and half of it is below. So right like this, that means we can get to the lower level, because that's where the chest is going to be. So we're just going to pop down right here. We're going to go underneath like this, and the chest is just sitting right there in the middle. Pop it open, and you're going to get Sage's Will number 3, and we can move on to the next one. All right, so Sage's Will number 4, we're going to be going from the water temple area. There's a shrine just kind of like southish of the water temple. It's right directly above Zora's domain. There is a Skyview Tower close by, but I don't think you can get up here any other way. If you just kind of do the story progression for the Zora area, eventually you're going to get the Zora armor. You could be able to go up the waterfall. You're going to get to this location. So from this shrine, we're just going to kind of go forward here. There's going to be a Zonaite dispenser, and just below there's going to be a construct flux thing. Now you can see there's a chest that's glued to it right below. See right there to the bottom right? There's a chest right there. Now I'm going to explain how these work this time, and hopefully I won't have to repeat myself for every other time. You guys will get the gist of it. But there's these blocks, right? So the block that looks different, if you grab it with your Ultra Hand, you can just kind of pull it out and start, you know, whacking it and doing damage to it. Or if you kind of grab your bow mid-air, you can shoot it a bunch of times, and you can probably annihilate it pretty quickly, just like that. The other thing is that you've seen that there was a block with the chest on it. If you actually grab that block and you shake it to dismantle the chest off of it, you can just go grab the chest right away, because that's where the Sage's Will is basically. You don't actually technically have to defeat this thing. But anyways, we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to go ahead and defeat it. Again, I'm doing this kind of the long and lengthy way. It'll turn into a cube. It'll kind of roll around trying to smash you. Another time, it'll go like way up high in the air, and it'll launch like a bunch of cubes at you. If it does that, dodge the cubes, stand on one of them, use recall, it'll bring you back up to the top, and then you'll be able to just kind of smack the thing itself. But anyways, there's the chest. Again, all these conflux or flux bosses are going to be the same. You can just pull the chest right off from the beginning and grab the Sage's Will if you're able to do that, or you can go ahead and defeat it. You're going to get a bunch of resources that drop from it anyways, which is super useful. So anyways, that's a Sage's Will number 4. We can move on to the next one. All right, so for Sage's Will number 5, we're going to go right from the last will, which is Sage's Will number 4, which is up in the water temple area. This one's going to be directly above one of the Skyview towers, Upland Zorana. I don't know if you can actually get to it from just launching out of it. You might be able to do that. You could try it. Again, you know, you might just be able to kind of cruise over. But we're going to this sphere over here. We're waiting for it to rotate until it's like in the half-half thing again. And again, just like the other sphere one, we're going to be ducking out underneath to go to the bottom platform, and the chest is just sitting here. So go ahead, pick it up. Sage's Will number 5 complete. We can move on to the next one. All right, so for Sage's Will number 6, we're going to be going just kind of south of Zora's domain area. We can go off the Upland Zorana Skyview Tower. So if you launch off of that, we can just kind of glide south over here to this kind of little landing or battle arena thing over here in the kind of Lanayru area, if you will. When you get here, you're going to find another one of those constructs, the flux constructs. It's going to be level 2. You can go ahead and defeat it if you want, or you can just go ahead and knock the chest off as I did, and then go ahead, walk up to it, grab it, and you're pretty much good to go. That is going to be Sage's Will number 6. Again, pretty easy. It's just a level 2 flux construct. Okay, we can move on to number 7. All right, so for Sage's Will number 7, we're going to be going from the Sahasra Skyview Tower, if I'm pronouncing it right. We're just going a little bit east. It's going to be right here in the North Necluda Sky Archipelago. So if you launch off of that Skyview Tower and just kind of make your way over, eventually we're going to come to the location that we need to go. Again, you can kind of see where it is. There's this one lone island with a big stone on it. It has a bunch of like mineable ore on it, which you should mine, by the way. There's a chest in front of it. Go ahead, pick it up, and that's going to be Sage's Will number 7. Easy peasy. All right, Sage's Will number 8. This one could be a little bit trickier. We're going to above Event Tide Island, which is going to be the very, very bottom right corner. The closest landing is going to be here. You can go from this shrine here in the Rubella Wetlands, and you can kind of glide your way over to this little island that I'm sitting on here. Build a ZONAI device, whatever kind of ZONAI device you choose to use. That is up to you. And then we're going to start going ahead and making our way over there. So again, if you just mark it on the map, you can see right directly ahead of me, that's where it's going to be located. So just go ahead, fly on over. Eventually, we're going to get there, and we're going to have to fight a King GLEEOK. So I'm going to explain how to fight a King GLEEOK in this section. I'm not going to re-explain it in the other sections. I'll explain it here, and then I'll just kind of give you a more concise version in the future ones, because we're going to be fighting multiple King GLEEOKs in this whole thing, unfortunately. All right, so we're here at the King GLEEOK fight. Now, what we're going to be trying to do is we're going to be trying to freeze time in the air and shooting each of its eyes, okay? So there's 3 heads, 3 eyes. It's going to be pretty tricky to fight these things, but once you start getting kind of a grip on it, you're pretty much good to go. You can use rockets strapped to your shield to get up into the air if you would like to use that method. Eventually, towards the late part of the boss fight, it's going to go way up in the air, so the idea there is to try to stop it as soon as possible. Now, all these arenas have these pillars, so what I ended up doing is I would just climb up one of these pillars, I would jump off, pull my bow to slow time, shoot all 3 in the eye, and then when you do that, King GLEEOK's basically going to fall to the ground, and you go and do a bunch of damage on it. Now, you can use whatever you want for weaponry. I think if you use kind of like elemental stuff versus certain heads, like I think maybe like water against the, or like fire against the ice head, for example, I think would be super effective, just for an example. I'm using like the Master Sword and just random stuff that I have, of course. Do a bunch of damage. If you can, try to get away like before it gets up, because it'll start blowing wind, as you guys can see on screen. And if you can get away a little bit earlier and get onto the pillar before it starts getting up and blowing the wind, then you can jump off almost right away and shoot it in the eyes. So that's kind of the method, is to go and do that over and over again. Now, you could use ZONAI devices like springboards as well, that, you know, can help you get up in the air. Like I said, you know, a rocket on a shield, once you use it, it's like a one-time use. The springboard, you can use it probably for a couple damage phases. So again, the idea is to keep just whacking it until you get super low in health. If you have the temple summons, which assumingly you do if you're doing the Sage's Will, you know, collection, then you can just summon them. They can help you to an extent, but once this thing flies in the air, they're mostly going to help you when it falls on the ground. Now, if you are not able to prevent it from going up into the air at the very, very final phase, because it's going to go super, super high up. What's going to happen is it's going to start dropping huge icicles. It's going to start dropping lightning bolts. The lightning bolts are going to create like temporary holes in the ground. It's going to have gusts of wind that you can ride up, but other stuff is going to continue to fall down, which is going to make it very difficult to even get up there. The icicles that fall down, you can jump on and use recall to get back up, but again, things are going to be flying at you to try to prevent you from getting up there. And then the fire dragon is going to be shooting fireballs and raining fire all over you. It's very difficult at that point. So if you can get on the pillar and try to shoot it in the 3 eyes before it starts flying all the way up, then you're golden, because it's going to be way harder at that point. It's not impossible, it's just much, much harder. All that to say, once you've done it all, you've gotten the King GLEEOK down to the ground for the final time, you do all your damage, it's going to unlock a chest nearby on this little island. You're going to go open the chest, and you're going to get the Sage's Will, which in this case is going to be Sage's Will number 8. Alright, so for Sage's Will number 9, we're going to be going from the Rebella Wetlands Skyview Tower, and we're just going to be heading south right here on this little kind of battle platform as well. So we're just going to go ahead and glide on over. Very easy to get to if you're gliding. Again, if you need something else, if you don't have enough stamina, then you can just go ahead and use a ZONAI device or something else like that. But if you do have enough stamina, just glide on over. Again, we're going to make this Flux Construct, which is, this one is going to be a level 3, by the way. We're going to make it drop the chest, which is actually just sitting right beside me. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up. Pop it open, rather. And we're going to get the Sage's Will number 9. Moving on to the next one. Alright, so for Sage's Will number 10 and 11, they're going to be in the same area, which is going to be on the Thunderhead area. So you can go from Poplar Foothills down south to the Thunderhead Isles here. This is actually going to be blocked off with a cloud if you haven't done all the stories. So what you're going to want to do is do the story, do all of the 4 temples, basically. It's going to bring you over to Kakariko Village at some point. There's going to be a whole thing with the ring in the sky, ancient ring. It's eventually going to bring you over to Hyrule Tower, or Hyrule Castle, excuse me. And then it's going to bring you south over to this area, which is going to be, what is it, Draco Lake, or however you pronounce it. And there's going to be a whole thing here that you're going to have to do. Again, it's part of the main story. And then it'll clear up all the stuff up here. And it'll bring you up here eventually. So you can do that, or you can just launch off of Poplar Foothills Skyview Tower, and you can go ahead and glide on over. Thankfully, it already completed this section, so you can see the map properly. We're going to this section of the map right here. So again, I'm going to pin it. We're going to this section. Now, once you get to the starting point of the Thunderhead Isles, you can go ahead and maneuver through it if you would like. But I'm just going to use a ZONAI device, going to fly on over to this specific location that I just pinged on the map. You can see that there's rocks in the ceiling of it. There's also rocks kind of on the wall on the lower level, but I'm going to blow up the rocks in the ceiling. Just hop down. There's a like, and right here there's going to be the chest, which is going to have Sage's Will number 10. Okay, so again, that's going to be Sage's Will number 10. We're going to move on to 11. So for 11, we're going to go exactly from where we are. We're just going to send up. We're going to use a ZONAI device to get over. But I'll show you on the map right here. Just look exactly where I'm pointing. Right here on this little kind of lake here. That's where it's going to be. Just in case you don't have the sky cloud removed, you know exactly where to go. Just pin that section on the ground level, and then go to that spot in the sky area. So again, you just use a ZONAI device to get over here. This is what it's going to look like when you get here. The chest is just going to be sitting there. You're going to pop it open. There's like some ribs of some kind of big monster at the other end of this section that you may have noticed when we were kind of flying in. So that's where it is, again, right here on the map. Just go to that exact location and you should be able to find it very easily. Again, this is where it is on the ground. This is where it is in the sky. And that is going to be Sage's Will number 11. Alright, so for Sage's Will number 12, we're actually going to go from the original starting Sky Island, the kind of Great Sky Island over here. If you go to the original Room of Awakening, you just kind of ascend up to go to the very top. You go to the southernmost area of this section. We're going right above Hylia Island, which is in Lake Hylia, of course. So again, I'm going to be gliding directly from the starting area, just above the Room of Awakening area. And we're just going to make it all the way down there. Again, it's going to be below us over here, so we're just going to kind of glide over here. There's going to be another construct we're going to have to fight. Again, you can use a ZONAI device, you can use whatever other way, but I think that was the easiest way to get there. I'm just going to yoink the chest right off of him without even fighting this thing, really. I'm just going to make sure that I move out of the way so he doesn't slam me. Pop open the chest, and you're going to get Sage's Will number 12. So you can move on to the next one. All right, so for Sage's Will number 13, it's just going to be from Hyrule Field Skyview Tower here. We're going to be heading a little bit southwest-ish. There's this kind of island with the 2 pools that you've seen there when I zoomed in, kind of zoomed in quick. I'm going to glide over. You can use a ZONAI device if you want to, but when you glide over, you're probably not going to have enough air. So if you actually land in this bottom section here, right under the island, and you just ascend up, it's going to bring you exactly where you need to be anyways, which is this pool right here. So from this pool, we got to drain the water. So there's some logs down here to our bottom over here. So we're going to grab the logs. We're going to grab 1 log here, and then we're going to have to grab a second log here. Go ahead and bring it up here. Once you get the second log up, you're going to attach it in an L shape. You're going to kind of rotate it, and you're going to stick it on this little kind of hook that's sitting here. Excuse me. And then you're going to lift the gate and attach it to the logs, and that's going to drain the water. You're going to be able to go ahead and grab the chest. There's also a bunch of ancient arowana here if you want to grab those as well. But in the chest is going to be Sage's Will number 13. Sage's Will number 13. All right, so for Sage's Will 14, we're going to be going from this kind of little island here, just in the kind of southwest of Hyrule Field area. We can go from Hyrule Field Skyview Tower, or just go back from the starting area and kind of glide over to this area here. There's going to be a shrine. I don't know how to pronounce it. Don't ask me how. And a little bit west from the island that we're currently sitting on is an island that looks like this. We're going to be going there. So again, I'm going to use my trusty dusty. I don't know what the word is. I'm going to use my trusty ZONAI device, and we're going to make our way over there. Now I'm going to speed the clip instead of cutting it, just so you guys don't get lost, so you see exactly where I'm going. But essentially we're going to that exact island right in front of me over here. And once we get there, we got a couple things that we got to do. So we're going to make our way over here, and we're actually not going to go to the very top. We're going to go to the like a level right below it. Again, this one has like 3 levels to it. If you land here and you see the gold construct, you're in the right spot. There's like a mirror and a bunch of other stuff we want there. I cut the gameplay because I accidentally went to the wrong place. But essentially, if you kind of make your way around the corner, there's going to be like a flaming device here. Now, if you actually grab it with Ultra Hand, you can make it yours so it doesn't attack you. I'll show you from the very bottom level. So if you end up accidentally making your way down to the very bottom level where this gate is, this is actually where we're going to have to come. But you don't have the required resources yet. We're going to ascend right here, and this is going to bring us to the exact spot we need to go. This is where the flaming guy was that we, kind of made ours, and right beside him, this is where the mirror was, right? So we're going to attach the mirror to the spike. This is not quite right. I'll show you how to properly do it after. Right behind us, there's going to be 2 stone slabs, so we want to kind of stick those 2 stone slabs together so they kind of make like a lengthy piece, and then we're going to attach the spike with the mirror to the to one of the ends of this this whole kind of unit, if you will. At this point, again, you can go ahead and grab the fire guy to make him yours. We're going to drop this thing in this crack right here by the fire ZONAI device thing. We're going to drop down with it, and we're back to where I just showed you a second ago, which is where the gate is. Behind the gate is going to be the Sage's Will. So what we're going to have to do is attach the mirror like this. This is how you want it on the spike facing you. And what we're going to do is we're going to level it with that yellow kind of, I don't even know what it's called, but basically we have to shine light into that yellow thing you just seen on the wall there above the gate. And so we're going to have to kind of move it around out in the wide open sky. Now for me, it didn't start working until it was about noon-ish. So you can see the bottom right corner, 11:50 a.m. And you're just going to kind of rotate it till you hear this. And when you hear that sound, you know that it's facing in the right direction. So again, just kind of rotate it around till you start hearing that sound. Hold it there. It's going to open up the gate. It's going to cut over to show you that the gate has opened. You're going to pick up the chest, and you're going to be good to go. That is going to be Sage's Will number 14, and we can move on to the next one. Sage's Will 15 is going to be another King GLEEOK fight. We're going to be going over from this area here. You can go from the Gerudo Skyview Tower and head over to this Sky Island here, the East Gerudo Sky Archipelago. And we're going to go from there all the way over to the left side, to the west, on this little island. It's going to be a battle arena, and again, it's going to be a King GLEEOK. So hop on your flying device and make your way over there. It's going to take quite some time, so make sure you have enough battery. You can use ZONAI charges to refill your battery. Make sure you're using the ZONAI armor. armor. That's the island we're going to, by the way, in the background. If we just kind of zoom in, you can see it's way off in the distance. But yeah, the ZONAI armor is going to be super useful, so make sure you use that. Once we get over to this island, it's going to be the same thing as we did earlier with the first King GLEEOK fight. Again, we're going to just basically hover in the sky. We're going to pull our bow out, shoot it in all 3 eyes to bring it down to the ground, damage it as much as we can. We can use a variety of different ways to get back up into the air. There's pillars all around the arena you can just jump off of to basically shoot your bow, slow down time, and all that. Rinse and repeat. Try to go back on one of those pillars sooner than later, by the way, because if you wait too long, he's going to start flapping his wings and blow you down. It's going to be very hard. Also, towards the end of the boss fight, like I said earlier, is he's basically going to go ahead and he's going to fly really high in the air. So you want to try to get him before he does that, because it's going to be way more difficult to get up in the air at that point. But anyways, once you defeat him, you can go ahead and grab the Sage's Will. That's going to be number 15, and we can move on to the last few ones. All right, so for Sage's Will number 16, this one we're going to be going sort of to where this location is, just south of the Hyrule Ridge area. So we can go from Hyrule Skyview Tower, but it's probably not the best bet. The best bet is Lindor's Brow Skyview Tower. Make your way over to Courage Island over here where I'm at, and then using a Zonaite device, flying device, we're going to go from Courage Island just south to that location where I pinged. Again, you can kind of see it right there. It's that little island directly in front of us, sitting above that one cloud in front of us. So again, just go ahead and make your way over there. It's the West Hyrule Sky Archipelago. When you get there, there's going to be, again, another Flux Construct, or what are they called? Yeah, Flux Construct number 3. And again, as per usual, you can just go ahead and take off the chest from the construct, or you can fight it whatever way you choose to do it. I'm just gonna get the chest off of it and not even fight it and get the Sage's Will number 16. Cool, that's it. All right, so for Sage's Will number 17, going from number 16, the location we just were for 16, so for some reason you skipped 16, go back and watch that. We're going to make our way from Lindor's Brow to Courage Island, down to the West Hyrule Sky Archipelago here, and from there we're going to make it our way to the North Gerudo Sky Archipelago, which is going to be a little bit of a trek. As you see, it's a little bit higher up. So you see that round sphere in the kind of top right of my screen there? You'll get a better shot right there. See the top right section? We're going towards there. That sphere is where we're going. Eventually, when you get high enough, you're going to end up being into a low gravity zone. As you can see, we're falling very slowly. So I'm going to speed up time. We're going to jump in here, and you can see there's a whole mirror puzzle that technically you have to do. You really don't have to do it. I'm not even going to bother doing it. If you want to figure out how to do it, have at it. I'm just going to show you how to cheese it and get it the easy way. So see that gate right there? We're trying to get into this gate. There's a chest inside the gate, and of course, as you may have guessed, the chest is the Sage's Will. Now, if you ascend, you can see that I just missed it. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go directly under it, and this is the location. If you go right about there, again, you can just kind of, trial and error it. Eventually, you'll get the right spot where you can just ascend right into the cage. Go ahead and grab the chest, and there's the Sage's Will. It's really that simple. That's number 17. Easy peasy. All right, so for the last 3 Sage's Wills, what we're going to do here is there's going to be 3 different locations in the North Tabantha Sky Archipelago, sort of West Hebra Sky Archipelago area. And there's going to be one right here where I'm standing, right on the map. There's going to be one right here. Those are just going to be chests, and then there's going to be one up here, which is going to be another King GLEEOK, which ironically is going to be our last one, but is also the first one that I ever did. The Wind Temple is over here. So if you have the Wind Temple already unlocked, you can probably spawn here, just glide over. There's also a shrine over here. Just glide over or make one of those flying devices. I'm going from where we just were in the last stage, which was right here. I glided over here-ish, which I took about almost 3 full stamina rings, and then I made my way over here. Like I said, you can just go ahead and you can make one of those flying devices, like we've been doing throughout the throughout this whole thing. That like little flying device or whatever flying device you want to get up here from whatever island you can get to. So you can kind of get to, I guess if you catapult off of the Rossbro past Skyview Tower, you can kind of get up to here or here, and then you can just kind of make your way up here by flying. So you can go here, and then ascend up to here, and then ascend up to here. But I'm going to start here. I'll show you guys the location. So this is going to be, what is it? Sage's Will 18. So I'm going to go ahead, pop open the chest. We should be good to go. There it is. Sage's Will. Again, it's going to be 18. Ignore the fact that I have 19. Again, I've started on the wrong one. And then from here, again, you can either fly over, where we're going to be going is down there. Okay, so we can start down there and then come up here, or since you're already close enough, we can go do the King GLEEOK one over there first. Depends which way you're coming from. So right here on this island, you're going to find another Sage's Will. Again, this is going to be the South Hebra Sky Archipelago. Again, the closest would be the Rossborough Pass Skyview Tower. You might be able to make it up here. I think you might be able to glide over there from there. If not, just what you could do is, since it's right here, you should be able to make it to this island, which has a shrine. Then you go from this island over here. Or if you have the Wind Temple unlocked, you can start at the Wind Temple, just kind of glide it down over here. And then you're going to find the chest just kind of in the middle section here. It is kind of cold up here, so just keep that in mind. Pop them in the chest. And of course, we got the Sage's Will. Right there, that is going to be the Sage's Will at this location. All right, so for the final Sage's Will, we're going to be going over to this kind of little area in the West Hebra Sky Archipelago. It's going to be another King GLEEOK fight. Again, you can see where we are from the ground. You can go from the Rossborough Pass Skyview Tower, and you can get up to this little area here. And then, again, depending on the path you took, you can go ahead and grab this Sage's Will that we talked about. And then from here, you can kind of fly up and go grab this Sage's Will that we talked about. Then you can go from here and fly over here. That's one way to get up here. Or you can go ahead and spawn at the Wind Temple if you have that unlocked. And there's a series of flying boats that you can spring off of. And at this point, I'm over here. So I'm at the top. The Wind Temple is like right behind me over there. And so what I could do is I could just kind of spring off this boat over here. And try to make my way over here. Now, I don't actually know if I'm going to have enough stamina to glide all the way over there. I'll let you guys know. But if we don't, what you could do is right on that little island right there that we came from, you could build one of those flying devices and just kind of fly your way over, which would probably be easier if you don't have much stamina to begin with. Again, we're going to see if 3 rings of stamina is going to be enough. All right, so just to confirm, I made it here with just about 2 3/4 of a stamina ring, and also using Tulin's Gust ability. Again, there's going to be another King GLEEOK. Go ahead and fight it. I've already defeated it. That's what I said. It was my first one. That's how I actually discovered the Sage's Wills were even a thing. Once you defeat it, you can go ahead up the stairs and you can pick up the chest, which should be right where I'm standing here. I'll throw a clip up on screen where I'm actually, got the Sage's Will. And that's going to be it. You're going to have all 20, and we're going to be able to go ahead and cash them all in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so once you have all 20 Sage's Wills, all you're going to have to do is offer them up to a goddess statue, and you can deepen your connection with the Sages. Again, what this is going to do is increase their power when they're fighting alongside you. If you don't want to see what the Sages' names are, then maybe skip this part, because I am going to go ahead to the goddess statue and show you what happens when we actually cash them in. But it's really that simple, honestly. So go to the goddess statue. We're going to go ahead. We got Lights of Blessings, which we don't actually have, but we also have Sage's Wills. And then we're going to go one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5, and we're going to increase their ability. Again, this is not going to increase their power necessarily. Like, for example, Tulin's Gust ability, it's not going to increase that or anything. It's just going to increase his attack power. So when they're fighting alongside you and they're damaging other enemies, then what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and do that. Is going to do extra damage, basically. So, for example, Tulin will sometimes shoot arrows at an enemy. Just for one example, that's going to increase their attack power with that specifically. So, I guess when you're using, like, the Goron, what was his name again? I'm drawing a blank right now. Yunobo or whatever. When you're using his ability is an attack, so maybe that would actually work. Possibly, I'm not sure. But anyways, we're going to go through. We're going to go ahead and one by one increase all of their attack power. And now they're all going to be even more powerful when they fight alongside you, which could help, I guess, for grinding, materials and things like that. We've already fought some of the most, the hardest enemies in the game, so there is that. So keep that in mind. We fought the King GLEEOKS, which are pretty tough, and whatnot. But I guess you can come every 4 that you get and increase one of your Sages one at a time if you want to do that, or increase them all at the same time at the very end. Either way, those are all the Sage's Wills locations, my friends, and what they do and all that good stuff. I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to leave a like. Really helps the channel. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments so I can improve the content in the future. And be sure to subscribe for more Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and everything else Nintendo. Until the next one, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.